Welcome back to Is It Still Good, the channel where we watch older films and let you know if they still hold up. Today I'm really excited. We're going to watch one of my all-time favorite films ever, Bram Stoker's Dracula. But first, let's try to sell you guys one of my novels. Okay, hopefully you guys bought some of my books. You can get them anywhere books are sold. I really appreciate it when you guys go into like Barnes & Noble and order them if they don't have them on the shelf, because then they'll stock them from then on out. So that's a nice way to get them. If not, go to your local bookstore. Small bookstores need the support, and that really helps me. Okay, Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, rated R, 2 hours, 8-minute runtime. And on IMDb, they gave this film 7.4 out of 10. Now, do I agree with that? Let's talk about it. This movie was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and obviously based on the book from Bram Stoker, the classic, adapted for film by James V. Hart. And this stars Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves, and others, but it's got a pretty stacked cast. Now, I've always loved this movie, but the point of the channel is, how much do we still love these films? And that's what we're going to answer. So, I watched it again the other night, again, as always, with a date that hasn't seen it. You know, half the time when I'm hanging out with somebody, I think it's cool. I want to show them an older film that they haven't seen before, with the side goal of being able to review it for the channel. Their feedback helps me calibrate my overall score, and so on. So we watched Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's a little long, you know, for some people that may or may not be as into the subject matter as I am. But for me, every scene in this movie is a treat. Spoiler, I'm just going to put this right into my Hall of Fame playlist, period. I love this movie so much. It won 3 Oscars, according to IMDbers. It was a nominee for Best Art Direction. It was 1993 winner for Best Costume Design. It won Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing. Great sound effects in this. I love the score, too. It's got awesome music. And Best Makeup. It won for that, an Oscar. So, you know, pretty cool, man. 1993 winner for Best Horror Film, Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, whatever that is. 1993 winner, Best Actor, Gary Oldman. He must have been. 1993 nominee, Best Actress, Winona Ryder. How? Oh, she was nominated. Supporting Actor nominee, Anthony Hopkins. Sure. Best Director winner, Francis Ford Coppola. Okay, I can see all that being legit, right? What I can't see is Winona Ryder being nominated for Best Actress anything. And this movie's really funny because a lot of people that love this film are very well aware of the dichotomy between incredible character acting right up against really terrible character acting. So in the example of Gary Oldman as Dracula is amazing. He gets to play Dracula old. He gets to play Dracula young. We get some different looks out of him. He is always incredible. His line delivery is amazing. His accent is on point for the region, I think. I don't know, it's just very believable for me. Anthony Hopkins, same thing. There's little aspects of their personality that sneak through in the characters, which I really love. Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing, Dr. Van Helsing, and it's just incredible. Then you got Keanu Reeves, who says things like, what does he say? Bloody wolves chasing me through some bloody inferno? Or something stupid. He sounded terrible. Winona Ryder, I think, was just off in this. That's just my opinion. You guys can hate me for it, but here's the thing. The poopy acting from Winona Ryder and Keanu did not dampen my love of this film. This is a filmmaker's film. A lot of the techniques they use for this are, you know, outdated and they don't use them anymore. But the whole movie looks gorgeous. It's got a classic, timeless feel to it. And I absolutely loved it. Now, IMDb gave this 7.4 out of 10. Do I agree with IMDb? Hell no. This is going to be a lot higher for me. And you guys may disagree. I'm all over the place. You know, some people may have disagreed with my Silent Hill was kind of a low rating. But I just watched it, and that's kind of the vibe I got. I give it a number score per the time. Now, I could watch these movies again in another 20 years and have a completely different take. That's kind of the point of the channel. But upon this last rewatch, I don't know if it's because I've been watching crappy movies lately, but this just stood out to me as like a treat, as an incredible film. It's got to be 9+. And I think because of all the, you know, techniques used in this film to make it original and unique and fun and timeless and cool, I have to give this thing 9.2 out of 10. That's for me. This is in my Hall of Fame. I mean, just little things like when Dracula's shadow moves on the wall, but he doesn't, and just the silhouettes of like the battles, and you know, even when they do use some like animated features like the green mist and things like that, it looks good. The camera angles are all set up very nicely. You know, it's just done so well, and it's set up very nicely. Plus the action just builds and builds. I mean, this movie starts off super cool and then just gets cooler and cooler and cooler. It does end a little abruptly, you could say, and I think you would have an argument there, possibly, but it's a longer runtime. It's 2 hours, 8 minutes. When it does end, I'm kind of like, cool, I can go do something else. That was great. You know what I mean? They could have drawn out the ending a little more. I could see this being somewhat of a, maybe a series, like a 1-season series, but there's some really amazing parts in it. It's sexy, it's fun. I mean, I just think everybody's cool in it. I really love like the action sequences, the chase sequences, the buildup of the characters. You can understand where Dracula is coming from in this story, but you also understand where Keanu and his band of like vampire hunters are coming from, you know, as far as, Dr. Van Helsing is kind of a little bit off, and there's great side characters. Renfield, played by Tom Waits, is amazing. I don't know. I love this movie. I love this movie so much. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I don't know why I haven't reviewed it by now. But, you know, maybe this is rose-colored glasses. Maybe I'm very biased. You know, it's an opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree with 9.2 out of 10. It's up there. This movie's great. And the little quirky aspects of this movie that may be considered cheesy or turn some people off, I'm more forgiving with. And maybe that's a me thing. So, like, I'm totally open to your guys' opinion. So I'm totally open to your guys' opinion on this film. But for me, it's in my, like, Hall of Fame, for sure. I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is the best Dracula film ever, in my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, I'd love to hear yours. But that's the hill I'm going to die on, and I will love this movie for the rest of my life. I have no doubt of that, and I'm not alone. So anyway, give it a watch. If you have not seen this movie before, and you're really into like filmmaking and cool filmmaking techniques and things like that, this will be an absolute treat for you. But if you go back and watch it and didn't like it, I'd love to hear why. Even my date thought it was pretty awesome. And she's pretty tough. She's pretty tough on older films. She likes mostly newer cinema. And when I show her a lot of these old movies, they don't hit her as hard as they hit us back in like the 90s and so on. This was 1992. But what a film. What a classic. I love it to pieces. I will always love this movie, and that's not going to change. But I just figured I would give you guys something a little bit darker. And if you've been watching crappy movies lately, give Bram Stoker's a shot, because this is excellent. Excellent in my opinion. Anyway, that's it for me, and I will see you guys next time on Is It Still Good?